Hello everyone. I'm going to speak about weapon damage, scaling, spell damage scaling, crit and stuff like this. Actually, first I apologize for my microphone that is not of a very good quality. And also for my English, since I'm French, I'm going to try to speak something understandable. And just comment if there's something. I'm going to fix that microphone thing later. Okay, first thing first, I'm going to speak about the class abilities. The class abilities all use magicka. And so the damage increase from spell power, that you can also call spell damage, the same thing, and will crit from spell critical, because they are class abilities. There are some class abilities that will crit from weapon crit, but not for the sorcerer. For the Nightblade, you have, I think, Veil of Blades, surprise attacks. I'm not sure, but I won't go in details on this. But just for you to know that some abilities will crit from weapon crit, but all will scale from max magicka and will increase also from spell damage. Okay. For the weapon, the stamina weapons, two-handed, one-handed shield, dual wield, and bow. These cost stamina. So, since they are weapons, the damage is increased from weapon damage, and these cost stamina. They will crit from weapon crit, and also the stamina, of course, will increase the damage on this. So both weapon damage and stamina will increase the damage, but they will crit from weapon crit. The two that are different, of course, are the two staves, the Destro Staff and Bristol Staff. The basic attacks, light attacks, and heavy attack will scale from stamina, like all other weapons, and weapon damage. But the abilities that cost magicka will scale from weapon damage, because these are weapon abilities, but will also increase from spell damage and not weapon damage, because they are abilities that cost magicka. But they will still crit from spell crit, because they cost magicka, like 99% of the abilities that cost magicka will crit from spell crit, with the exceptions I told earlier, but that's another story. Okay, so to prove that, that's pretty easy. I'm gonna use some abilities. Like for now, I have Crushing Shock, that is from Destro Staff. You see the damage, 140 of the 3 damage, Flame Cold Shock. That's without boosts. I mean, I have buffs, of course, whatever, doesn't matter. When you do your test, just make sure they won't change. For example, if you have your food and it's about to expire, pop another one, because you want it to stay constant. Same for the buffs. So if you compare something with all the same thing, it's okay. Of course, if I cast Crit Surge, my weapon damage will go up. So first check without it, 140 3 times. Okay. Now, if I cast Crit Surge, that will improve my weapon damage. I cast it. See, my weapon damage now is at 210. It's overcapped. So I gain. I had a gap of 50 before being capped, so I have 10 more. But if I check the damage, it will be around 1 point per increase. So 162 instead of 140, 3 times. So it's 66 more damage. So it's around a 1 point of damage more for each point you add in weapon damage. And also it will scale from the magicka, because it's an ability that costs magicka. Okay, so now see, my surge is gone. It's back to 140 3 times. Now I'm gonna do something like removing. Okay, first, to see if it scales with stamina or magicka. Okay, for example, I will remove my epaulettes of the warlock that adds stamina. It will just remove my magic flood once per minute, so it won't move. It won't remove any weapon damage, or you know, when you do tests, make sure that if you remove something, that it won't remove two stats at the same time. So now I remove this just to show that the stamina. Do I have another one with stamina? Yes, but if I remove that one, for example, the gloves, it will remove me 9 spell damage. I don't want to remove any other things in stamina. Anyway, 38 stamina should be 1 point, and it doesn't move. If I remove something that is magicka, it will move. Okay, I will put back my shoulders. Where are they? Here. Put back them. Now I'm gonna remove something that cost. Okay, this one is 106 magicka, and I will lose also the 2 item set that is. So I will basically remove almost 200 magicka. I'm gonna remove my hat. So now I have less magicka. You see here, and if I check the damage, it's going down. Okay, by 3 times, so 21. It's not that huge, but it still proves that the magicka affects the weapon abilities. Okay, so I'm gonna put back my hat. Here it is. Here it is. Okay. Now for the, so you see the weapon damage and magicka affect this. Of course, I could remove things that had spell damage. For example, I will do it. I mean, for example, I remove that Signet of the Warlock. I will lose the 5 set ability, which is Magic Flood. I don't care, and that 13 spell damage. But I will replace it with something that gives 76 magic also. So I don't scrap out the test. So let me remove it because I just want to remove spell damage and not magicka. So we see how it scales. So let me check if I have something that doesn't have spell damage. That one, okay, 76 magicka. So I get my magicka like it was, but this time I reduce my magic cost instead of having spell damage. So if I check here, you see it's still at 140. So it doesn't affect it at all. The spell damage will affect just class abilities. Okay, now I'm gonna put back my ring. Here we go. Okay. So for that's pretty much it for the weapon damage, except the light and heavy attacks. For these, there are no numbers anywhere. You don't see any numbers regarding these. I have another add-on that had some extended stats. Even there we don't see anything. So the only thing we can do for this is to test with mobs. That's why I'm here. So I'm gonna find a mammoth. Okay, here is one. I'm gonna pop my crit surge. Doesn't matter how much DPS you do or whatever. I'm gonna do some weaving because next video I'm gonna show how to weave attack. So okay, he's dead. I'm gonna park somewhere. Let's see here. Okay, so now if I go in the log, use combat log statistics. That's an add-on that you can get on Minion. That is the tool for esoui.com. That add-on is a bit buggy when you fight, so I always disable it, but when you test, you can just go in add-ons, you add it, and it's very useful because it will list in details all you do. So if I go back to the, of course I cleared it before doing this fight, so it's easier to see. So I open with heavy attack that hits for, okay, I did do just one heavy attack, so I always start fights with this, so it doesn't matter. We will just use the light attack to see. Okay, for example, I have a light attack here that crit for 427, okay? And now we'll try to find one that did not crit. So 427 crit. Another one that crits. I was unlucky. All my light, I mean, I was lucky for the fight itself because all my light crit. But I wasn't lucky for my testing because I wanted to have at least one light attack that did not crit. I know the damage is around 250 something. Let me try again. Trying to find something to kill. Okay, a giant. Let's do this. Okay, I'm gonna park somewhere. Let me check that. I hope that I have one that did not crit. See, I forgot to clear my log, but doesn't matter. Since it's a giant, it will be easy. If it has been another mammoth, it would be a mess. Okay, let me find light attack crit. Light attack crit. Light attack crit. Light attack crit. Okay, one here. Okay, so my base attack when it doesn't crit is 274. Now, if I just remove, let's say I'm gonna just not use crit surge. That will let my weapon damage low. Actually, I will do the same thing. I'm gonna fight. Something here. Let me find something. Okay, there's a giant here. I'm gonna pop many light attacks, so. Okay, let's go back somewhere where I have peace of mind, like here. Okay, checking the logs. Okay, see, my crit earlier with the light attack was at 457 something. It's now at 321. So I'm gonna try to see if I have one that did not crit. Crit again, 321. Come on, come on. Just one, I just need one. Okay, you see here I have two attacks that did not crit, so the base, pardon me, the base attack is at 206, so it has lowered just because I did not use crit surge that add weapon damage. So you see that the weapon damage affect directly the light attacks and heavy attacks. Now for the stamina itself, you will see that's why my build, I have some stamina because I have enough health, so I prefer to put more stamina. I have 1689 instead of 1200, gives me more punch on the light attack since the main source build right now it's the light attack weaving with crushing shock. It means that it's more DPS, so that's okay. I'm gonna remove something that has just stamina. Okay, this one. So I'm gonna remove 38 stamina and what else? Okay, let me see. Okay, I removed like what? 80 stamina or so. Okay. So now I'm gonna attack the mammoth. I'm gonna do many light attacks, so I will have more chance to have some that did not crit. I don't know why I didn't think of it earlier. Doesn't matter much though. So if I check the log, light attack, crit. See, my crit now is at 412 instead of 457 or so, or something like this. And Do I have light that did not crit? Come on. Not lucky, but anyway, it doesn't matter. You see, the crit is at 412, and earlier the crit was, let me see. So see here, the crit is at 427. So you have a loss on the AV and light attack with stamina, or you can say you have an increase with stamina and also weapon damage. So you see how you check this for any ability. It's not that complicated. It's just to make sure that you don't remove more than one stat at a time. And you can also do the nude thing. You remove all armor, all buffs, all the kit, all crit, and fight kind of nude. And that's pretty much it. And you remove, for example, your buffs, spell crit buffs, potions, food. You don't use any potion. You remove your food, but it's all complicated. I prefer to use this right away and just change one thing at a time. So I'm gonna put back my gear. These and these. Okay, so for the spells itself, I won't explain it because it's very easy to test actually. If you remove magicka, if you check any class skill that costs magicka, you will see the damage go up or down. If you add or remove magicka, same for spell damage. If I remove spell damage, for example, I'm going to remove a ring that removes magicka and spell damage, and you will see crystal frag go down. So now it's at 683 instead of 720. So of course that's the same way. Magicka increase. I don't have the exact numbers, but it will add less damage than if you increase for the same amount in spell damage. Of course, this one is much lower, but the multiplicator is higher. So, but still, when you cap or when you use food and when you do good burst of increase, for example, when you all enchant your stuff with magicka and you use food, you will gain like 500 of magicka, which will greatly increase your spells. Same for stamina builds. So that's pretty much it for today. So I hope that this helped you guys, and if you have comments, feel free to say. Next time I will do some more information about light attack weaving, I mean animation clipping with abilities like the crushing shock build for the source, what are useful in trials, for example, the flawless dawnbreaker and the evil hunter skills, and all these things. See you guys next time.